It can be such a hassle to go through airport security. Sometimes it turns into a staged forced display to exhaust, sweaty, and overwhelm passengers before their trip has even started. And as we know, several items such as weapons and knives are obviously prohibited from being brought on board. However, there are also several that you might not be aware of, such as bowling pins, magic 8 balls, and foam toy swords. Even if an item is blatantly forbidden, some travelers will nevertheless attempt to pass it through airport security. The Transportation Security Administration employees have the images to back up their claims. TSA shares some of the weirdest items airport security officers have encountered on their Instagram account, along with some surprisingly humorous captions. So, join me and let's see the top 10 craziest things individuals have attempted and failed to get through airport security. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started! Number 10. Mannequin parts. The book Travel for Dummies may be familiar to you, but how about traveling with real dummies? Janice Burl, who oversees the Transportation Security Administration's social media staff, wrote that caption. The picture is simply brilliant, and I know you would agree that this needs a new backstory. So pay attention to both the faces of the mannequins and the other people. What if an actual human behaves in a mannequin-like fashion? Do they require a passport in that situation? Just kidding. But the TSA wanted to remind everyone that mannequins don't require masks, and we shouldn't be shocked by this information since these dolls don't even need one. You do, however, need it, and as the TSA officer advised, you can breathe easier if you first confirm how much can be brought on board. Maybe they can all fit in the overhead compartment or under the seat in separate parts, but from the looks of this photo, yeah, that's not gonna fit. Number 9. Colorful throwing stars. Oh dear, this was a deliberate choice between discovering these weapons in a traveler's carry-on is what the razor-sharp police at Baltimore Washington International Airport uncovered that led them to get their degree in warfare. Our tone may appear harsh right now, but facts are facts. People, you can't fly with throwing stars in your purse. And the TSA urged us not to be bitter, but to be better. If you're traveling with sharp objects such as knives or throwing stars, ensure they're correctly wrapped and secured in your check bag. The reminder is a point on point. Number 8. A maggot-infested suitcase. Don't watch this, and skip it if you're watching while eating since we've got a shady story to tell, and it'll disgust you for sure. So just when the TSA thought they'd seen everything, officers at LaGuardia Airport discovered this nauseating luggage. The airport stinks. This eerie bag triggered one of their security detectors, prompting their officers to further examine the suitcase. They opened the pockets and main bag flap, and the maggots rolled out. According to one of the LGA officials, the stink of the bag kept them from coming any closer. They vacated the location quickly, and an entire cleaning staff arrived to disinfect. Not the best way to start the week, but their Terminators stepped up to prevent these creepy crawlies from taking flight. Just a reminder, we understand how frustrating it is when the TSA tells us what we can and cannot bring on an airline. Whether you love or despise it, we have a travel suggestion for you. While packing, please check all pockets of your suitcase for any stale food or bug infestations. Likely, you haven't traveled in a long time, so ensure nothing has gotten into your bag. But believe me, I have many questions about why this actually happened, and all of them are why. And if you're with me, comment your questions below. Moving forward to something that isn't quite as disgusting as number 7, knives hidden in a Darth Vader bear. Someone went rogue in the airport and choked on their ambitions to smuggle 2 blades in Bear Vader. But the force was too strong for the TSA officials at PHL, who detected a disturbance and ended Darth's scheme. Knives, as all Jedi are aware, must be placed in check luggage. The TSA marked this photograph with a PS. Don't hide your things if you don't want a book of Boba Fett fines tossed at you. But honestly, why hide butter knives? That's crazy. Now, speaking of crazy, we have another weird entry for number 6, a mushroom-shaped foraging tool. This mushroomy foraging knife was discovered at Burlington International Airport. And yes, we understand that this little tool is cute and easy to ignore when packing your bags. But sharp objects, no matter how small, are not permitted in your carry-on. Once again, there's no space for dispute when it comes to traveling with knives. If you have any queries about what you may or cannot bring with you on your trip, do the truffle shuffle over to ask the TSA team to avoid traveling disruptions. Down to our top number 5, bullets in soap. Lather up everyone, because we're coming in fresh and clean with this one. TSA agents at Newark Liberty International Airport were shocked to discover a bandage handgun and some less than sanitary ammunition. The owner maintains good bag hygiene and makes sure guns and bullets are appropriately stowed in checked baggage. But don't slack off. Always declare your stuff when flying. This snapshot clearly shows that someone disregarded the TSA's travel regulations. We're not gonna lie, this idea was a disaster from the start. Slipping up and making this error could result in you paying some hefty fees. But let's admit, this one is sneaky. Glad the officers caught it. Number 4, sparklers. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag, drifting through the wind, wishing to restart? Yes, the tourists felt the same way after attempting to bring these gold sparkles into their carry-on bag. Luckily, the bright police at LaGuardia Airport were on hand to keep these sparklers from lighting up the night. The TSA is absolutely down for a party. They want you to let your light shine. It's been a long year, to say the least, but they'd prefer it if you save the celebrations before or after your trip. Fireworks and sparklers are not permitted aboard airplanes. TSA does not want them soaring over the skies, whether they are in your carry-on or check bag. To be honest, I think the traveler is just attempting to spark some joy in the plane. Number 3, hairbrush dagger. We can't help but wonder if the object in front of us is a dagger or a hairbrush. Well, TSA personnel at Richmond International Airport were not put off by this. They will learn the truth if circumstances lead them to it. Alas, it was undoubtedly hidden within the heart of the evil brush. Brush, why must thou be so evil? As stated in the TSA post description, no legacy is as rich as honesty. They ask that you keep their word and put your knives and weapons in your check bags. Such a cunning villain has no place in a carry-on bag. The second craziest item carried into the airport by travelers is a replica bomb. During screening at O'Hare International Airport, hourly officers noticed this so-called clock. Now, it's time to voice the alert once more about realistic replica items. Replica and inert explosives, as well as grenades, are simply not allowed in carry-on or check bags. If you're thinking, but it's not real, what's the big deal? These things could be misidentified as genuine bombs or grenades in the X-ray machine by a fellow traveler. Consider the chaos that could result if a checkpoint was forced to close. That would be some mighty ticked-off passengers. Avoid secondhand information and use the TSA's "What can I bring" option on their website to be sure you aren't bringing anything that could delay your trips. Last but definitely not least, a snake on a hard drive. TSA's original Instagram followers may recall this slithery gentleman from a 2018 tale. When a passenger attempted to smuggle this Boeing constrictor aboard disguised within a computer hard drive. Luckily, the civil serpents at Miami International Airport avoided mass hysteria by capturing this unarmed nope rope before it could take a megabyte out of any passengers. While most wiggly sidewinders are essentially lengthy boys, anything rattling inside electronics necessitates more investigations. But don't worry, no mouse-to-mouse resuscitation efforts were required. TSA pals in the US Fish and Wildlife Services arrested the smuggler and rescued the dangerous noodle. So are you wondering if you can take your snake on a plane? While some airlines allow reptiles in checked luggages, snakes are not permitted in carry-ons. Check out the Ask TSA team to ease any concerns regarding your impending trip. But yeah, poor snake. So there you have it. Those are absolutely some of the weirdest things people have tried and failed to get through airport security. Share with me about your airport security flubs in the comment section below, because I will surely love to read them. Also, like, subscribe, and check out the other exciting stuff on the screen. And I'll see you next time.